Good, Josh?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. All right. Well, you guys asked the other night, how do we start winning some of these close games? After watching that tape, I got to tell you, the guys are really trying to do what we're asking them to do. We won the turnover battle. That's a critical stat, quarterback rating, third down, red zone, explosive plays, penalties. They're playing smart football. And if you keep doing that, I have no doubt the wins will come. At the end of the day, it just boiled down to execution. They made their kicks. We missed our kick. They drove down in overtime and kicked and got in position to score, and we couldn't. So, but I like some of the things I saw on tape, and I really believe that the wins will come if we keep doing what we're doing.
All right, Pop, start us off.
Hey, Anthony, after the game, you mentioned that the protection broke down. After watching the tape, what did you see as sort of the primary issues there with the protection, the pass protection on Monday?
We didn't win on one-on-ones. We were just getting beat off the edge. And a couple of times we got beat up the middle. But it wasn't a lot of scheme. It was just winning one-on-ones. And we knew that was a good defensive line, but we have to block better.
This was obviously an issue last year when you guys went through a ton of injuries in the offensive line, just protecting. It's different this year because you got a more mobile quarterback. But how do you prevent this from becoming, an issue that persists again this season? Is it just a matter of getting your guys back healthy? Is it as easy as that?
Yeah, well, we have some guys that are out, Trey and Bryant, but that's going to help. They were starters for a reason. But, there are things we can do scheme-wise to help take some pressure off the offensive line. Because we have a mobile quarterback, we can move and change the launch point and make their jobs a little easier.
Thanks.
Sure.
Cam, go ahead.
Hey, thanks, Coach, for taking time with us. Have you noticed over the last 4 weeks that Justin's getting more verbally confident and taking more ownership of the team and being a verbal leader on that offense? Have you noticed that over the past 4 weeks?
I've noticed that this past week for sure. He knows he's the starter now. He knows, he's not looking over his shoulder, and he's not a leader of the team yet. But I think he is more vocal, and he's a quarterback. He has to be. And so in time, that leadership and all that will come. But I like what he's doing right now.
On that final play to Mike Williams, I think it was third down, you guys trying to get the first down, or fourth down, you're trying to get that first down. Did you see that he could have threw it in front of him a little bit more to kind of help Michael in that transition?
Justin did some good things in that game, but he knows there's 2 or 3 throws that he would like to have back. And, if he'd have thrown that ball out in front of Mike, we believe Mike would have gotten the first down, but, that didn't happen.
And I asked Joey Bosa about the verbal leadership on the defensive side of the ball, and he mentioned to me something pretty interesting, that it's not the rah that they need on the defense, it's more execution, as you would state. But that led me to think, is that schematic issues? Are you comfortable with the scheme on the defensive side of the ball to kind of close out these games?
I think what Joey said was right on the money. It's not about talk. It is about execution. Every single week, the team that executes the best will win. And we just have to do a better job of executing. That starts with the coaches.
But is that schematic, Coach? Is that a schematic deal?
We've won a few games with this same scheme. We just have to execute it better. And I'm not saying that there's not room for change. There's always room for change. We can improve and we can get better. You ain't ever got it. So we're looking at everything.
Thank you, Coach.
Mm-hmm.
Chris Airy.
Hey, Coach, 2020 has started similar to 2017, but you guys crawled out of that. You got to 9-7. What can you take from that experience to apply and give you confidence going into these last 11 games?
The way we approach our jobs, the way we come to work, positive attitude, hard work, and just continue to buy into what we're doing. I sense that from this team. I expect this team to bounce back just like that team did. So it's just unfortunate that we're in this situation again.
Does it help to have a lot of those guys who experienced that in 2017 in that locker room to maybe encourage some of the younger guys or guys who haven't been here that, hey, we can do this? We were a really good football team at the end of 2017.
No doubt. If you have guys that have been through that, they can that can be a testimony for them that they've been through it. You have guys like Linval Joseph who's with the Giants. he spoke to the team a little bit today. I think they lost 6 in a row, went 9-7, and ended up winning the Super Bowl. I mean, so there's guys that they've been here before. It's not their first rodeo, so no one's panicking. I can tell you that. You may see a sense of urgency, but no panic.
Thanks, Coach.
Yeah.
Joe Reedy.
Anthony, we had Joey on earlier. Just is he still the same guy to you, even though he signed a big contract, or do you sense he's putting more pressure on himself?
No, he's the same guy. Joey's very consistent. You always know what you're going to get out of Joey Bosa. He's a little banged up right now, and he went out and he spot played for us last Monday. I think he just went out on third downs, and we used him a couple of times at the end. But Joey's going to give you everything he's got, but he's definitely the same guy.
And then just in terms of defense and maybe the self-scouting that you might do over the bye week, in terms of scheme, is it matter of maybe simplifying things, or what can you do for the defense in terms of the second half?
You can simplify things. You can also, continue to challenge the players as well and do more. But that's a balance. There's a fine line there, and we have to find that and know what we can do more of and where we need to cut back. And we'll look at all that over the bye week. Okay,
and I did ask you on Monday, but I got to ask you again. Still confidence in Gus that he can right the ship and turn things around with the defense?
Absolutely. Confident in Gus and the whole defensive staff.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
Dennis.
Good afternoon, Coach Lynn. Do you feel like the bye weeks come at a good time for the team right now?
I really do. I mean, we weren't expecting a bye week, until last week, but it probably couldn't come at a better time right now because we may get a few players back, and we need to get a little healthier.
And how much do you believe that you'll be depending on your young players like Jalen Guyton, and the other young receivers? How much will you be depending on them going forward?
All year, man. I mean, those guys got to step up and play. We knew this year because of a lot of things that, every man on the roster at some point was going to have to play. So no one is surprised. We've been talking about it all along. With some of these young guys that are playing now, they get in this valuable game experience. We may get some other guys back later, some veterans, and then we feel like we have a deeper football team. So, I'm expecting a lot from these young men.
Thank you, Coach.
Sure.
Michael.
Hey, Coach, on Monday night, it was the first game since week 1 where the defense recorded at least one takeaway, and it was also the first game where Herbert did not throw an interception. Was there a level of relief after seeing that performance where okay, finally him as a rookie, he's shown he doesn't have to turn the ball over, or that's, it actually happened this time. So just wondering about your level of relief after seeing that performance.
No, I thought he did a good job. Like I said, there's a couple of throws he'd like to have back. But I thought he did a good job of taking care of the football. And the defense, again, got an interception and almost scored with it. They got it down inside the 5, and we ended up scoring on that drive. So I thought that was good. I thought we did a good job of taking care of the ball and taking the ball away.
And you guys went pretty deep in the depth chart along the defensive line. I mean, guys like Jesse Lemonnier, who's a UDFA, played a bit. Aguilera was playing some Leo for Nwosu when he went down. What did it mean to see a lot of those guys who haven't received a lot of significant snaps step in against the Saints and played fairly well?
It was not too big for those young men at all. I looked out there at one time and I saw all 4 guys that was on my scout team, 3 weeks ago out there playing in the fourth quarter. And it was not too big for them. They played hard. And like I said, they're going to be better football players for that. When we do get some of the other guys back, that depth is going to be a lot better.
And lastly, after the game, you mentioned you didn't know what was going on with Casey Hayward and why he didn't play most of the fourth quarter. What is the update on Hayward right now?
Oh, he's doing fine. Casey's going to be fine. Yeah, he was just beat up a little bit, took a shot, and came out, but he's going to be fine.
Thank you.
Yep.
Shawn.
Anthony, do you guys feel like, looking back, that you could have thrown the ball on first down a little more against the Saints?
You know what? You got to mix it right there, Tom. You got your run action on first downs, your running game. I think when Shane's calling the game, he's always setting things up. So he came out one drive and he ran the ball a couple of times on first down, and then that third drive, we threw the bomb down the field off the same run action. So he's always thinking ahead. So yeah, you can run action a little bit more on first down, but if at some point you got to establish the running game, and we feel like we need to take some pressure off a young quarterback who's having a hard time protecting. And I didn't mind him trying to establish the game, but absolutely.
The other question is, in 2018, you guys had some great wins: Seattle, Pittsburgh, Kansas City on the road, and people like myself saw a real change in the program with the toughness and resilience.
Mm-hmm.
But now we see this trend of losing close games going back a year plus. And you said the other day that starts with you. Can you put your finger on anything? I mean, we could probably talk forever about each game, how it could have gone either way.
Sure.
What do you think is going on?
I don't think you can just put your finger on anything, because it's never any one play or any one call. It's just, I think the guys are trying to do the right things. Like I said, when we win all those major categories, it's very rare that you don't win that game. But I think if we keep doing what we did Monday night, I have no doubt that the wins are going to come.
Thank you.
Sure.
All right, I guess Rashawn sounded like Tom. Go ahead, Rashawn.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's all good. Hey, Coach. Can you take me through the process this weekend in terms of the league changing your schedule? You have the next 6 weeks basically have gotten changed. What goes into that? How much communication are you guys in with them? Or
Yeah, I mean, we got our new schedule last week, and it is what it is. We knew that this could happen. Was not expecting to buy right now, but we're on a buy, so we had to make adjustments there. But that's just 2020. I mean, nothing happens in 2020 that's going to catch us off guard. It's just been this way the whole time.
You talked about the buy coming at a good time from a health standpoint. Is it solely about health, or is there something else that you want to accomplish during this period?
We always want to look at ourselves and see what we can do differently, see what we can do better. And so as a staff, we're definitely going to do that. You like to have a little more data, because, we've only played 5 games, but it is what it is. So we'll try to fix whatever we can.
And how would you describe the beginning of Justin's career, just kind of how he handled it? I mean, you mentioned the other night he came in, he found out at kickoff he was going to make his first start, and then you look at the quarterbacks you guys have gone against: Mahomes, Brady, Breeze. How would you describe just kind of this start for him in handling all this?
Like I said all along, I think he's handled the situation really well. He's done some really good things in all 4 of these games. The only thing that Justin wants to do is, and so does every man on this football team, is win. And, we haven't done that yet, but I do believe that is coming.
Thank you.
Sure.
Fernando.
Anthony, do you feel like Monday was a huge step forward for Justin? And the other 3 games he had 4 turnovers, and Monday was basically he was clean, didn't turn the ball over. Do you think that was a big step for him moving forward?
No doubt. I mean, to play in Monday Night Football and take care of the football the way he did, that was good to see.
And do you expect guys like Melvin and Justin and some of these guys who are on IR come back maybe with the bye week helping them, having an extra week off, and maybe come back for Jacksonville?
The extra week doesn't hurt. I don't ever want to put a timetable on a player's injury, but when they're healthy, they're healthy. But the bye week definitely is going to help.
And Anthony, what was your message to your coaches and your players for this week? I mean, obviously you guys still have to get tested regularly for COVID and everything, but what was your message for them for this bye week coming up? And
we talked about the game and how the game went and where we have to go from there. I don't want to get into details of all that, but our players after today, they have to have 4 straight days off, so they won't be here, but the coaches will be here for the rest of the week, and we'll be looking at ways to get better.
Thank you, Anthony.
Sure.
Shelley.
So you're not planning on taking any time off?
No, it's a little early for that, Shelley. So,
all right.
Yeah.
My other question is, how's Keenan?
No, Keenan will be fine. He had the back spasms. Man, we missed him, but he just couldn't go.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Back to Joe.
Anthony, Justin's performance against the blitz, especially for a young quarterback, has been off the charts. Is that something that you guys saw during the pre-draft process or when talking to his coaches at Oregon or on the film?
Well, he's more athletic than what people give him credit for. I mean, the young man can move a little bit. So when you come after him, they brought a blitz zero. That's more than we can block. And he escaped the pocket and made a hell of a throw. And, it was a touchdown for us to Keenan. So he can do things like that. So, he do that a few more times and people will start bringing that pressure. They'll start playing more coverage. And then you start running the ball a little better too.
And then you guys had nobody opt out due to COVID. Knock on wood, you haven't had anybody test positive yet during the season.
Yeah.
Yet you're the team that's had 5 out of 6 weeks change. Has this been a Murphy's Law kind of season for you, or you kind of go, okay, what's next, or why us?
No, we don't say why us or what's next. We just know that there's going to be change, and when you start canceling other games, at some point it's going to affect your schedule. So it's just the way it is, Joe.
Still no 1 or 2 seconds when you got that call around the league at 11, 12 o'clock as you're ready to go to New Orleans, like, what the heck?
We didn't even know if it was going to New Orleans or Indy, so it didn't matter to us. We knew we was getting on a plane.
Okay, thanks.
Jeff Miller.
Anthony, the one guy we haven't asked you about is Chenna. How was he doing? He was obviously down there at one point.
Yeah, Chenna was cramping a little bit. Chenna, when you start losing some of the guys, it messes with your depth on special teams. And Chenna was playing a lot of special teams, and he was starting for us. And so he was just cramping a little bit. But Chenna's going to be okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure.
Back to Pop.
Anthony, just going back to the defensive scheme stuff, during the offseason, you talked about wanting to be more aggressive. Obviously, Gus doesn't love to blitz, but so far this season, you're actually blitzing less than you were last season, not much of an increase on third downs. Are you guys being as aggressive as you sort of wanted to entering the season?
We're blitzing more on third downs right now than we have in the past. And we actually, in the game of the night, we had 10 to 12 pressures on first and second down. So we are blitzing, but we're not a blitz zero team. We're not going to, we just haven't done 6 or 7 guys and then play cover zero behind it. We have a different scheme, a different strategy. That's why most of the time we keep the points down. We like to keep everything in front of us. But that can change, based on situations.
I guess, have you been as aggressive as you wanted to? Has it sort of met what you were envisioning?
We've widened our techniques with our ends. We're doing different things with those guys, with our defensive line, so that they can be a little more aggressive. But, we did all that with certain guys, and a lot of those guys are really not even on the field right now.
And then you guys did mix in a little more two deep safety looks than you normally do against the Saints. Was that defending Drew Brees, or is that something where you're trying to mix it up a little bit more in terms of what the coverages that you guys are showing defensively?
We're just trying to mix it and disguise it. Yep.
Thanks.
Sure. So you're watching a lot of tape?
I'm trying.
Yeah.
Fernando.
Oh, sorry. I couldn't hear over Coach Pop. Anthony, how did you feel like the running game did on Monday with mixing in Justin and Josh? And did you like the way you guys were mixing them in and the way they ran the ball?
Yeah, we're going to have to mix the running game with those two right now because that's all we have. But it could have been more efficient. I thought we made our runs when they had an opportunity, but overall, I think it could have been more efficient. But a lot of times we're rushing those guys in situations where we're really setting up run action plays.
Thank you, Anthony.
Sure.
All right, Coach. Thanks for the time.
Okay, guys. Have a good one.
Anthony.
Thanks. For everyone else on here, have a good bye week.